Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is your swing watch list for the week of August 28th. I put these watch lists out for you guys for free every single day. I do weekly swings. I also do daily setups, daily videos for you guys to see possible setups on a bunch of different tickers where we have the Strat setups. If you've never been to this channel before, thank you guys. You're going to learn to trade like you've never traded before. We use strictly the candlesticks. The strategy is called the Strat. It's created by a man by the name of Rob Smith. R.I.P. Rob. He recently passed away. But he's given us these wonderful tools to be able to trade. And I was thinking about something today, and I thought, once you use the Strat, you never go back. And it is by far the easiest way you guys will find to trade. For me, it was. Hopefully, it is for you guys, too. I do ask one thing, to keep this stuff free for you guys. And realistically, it's only to pay for my time. If the ads roll through on here, please let them roll through. Watch them. That helps to pay for my time to do these videos for you guys for free. Let's get started on this list. The screen you see in front of you, that is TradingView. Okay? If you're day trading, swing trading, you're going to need something like this. I have a link in the description below. That link will give you a free 30-day trial to their sub-based services. And then if you decide to actually go ahead and use their sub-based services and you've clicked on that link, you get up to $30 off of your subscription. But you need to start by clicking on that link. Let's get to this list. The first one we've got here is Airbnb on the weekly setup. So what we have is a inside bar. So an inside bar, or when we're talking about the Strat, a 1 bar, does not break the high or the low of the previous candle. It stays within a range. It's a tightening range. It's a consolidating candle. And when we have those consolidating candles, what we look for is a big spring-loaded action. So we want to see a jump either to the upside or to the downside. That's based off of probability on what we've seen in the past. And every trade that we look at, guys, is always based off of probability, because we don't know whether you're looking at the 1-minute chart or the 3-month chart. You don't know what this next candle is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be an inside bar or if it's going to trend up or trend down or end up going outside bar, which breaks both sides of the previous candle, like this one right here. We don't know. So every strategy, every candlestick, every trade we look at is always based off of probability. It has to be, and it can't be anything else. So let's go back and find the last time we had an inside bar. And you notice these inside bars are painted yellow. They're painted yellow for a reason, and that's because of my indicator that I created for you guys. So it does that for the inside bars, paints them white for the outside bars, gives you the time frame continuity indicator and a bunch of other things as well. But we look at these inside bars, and realistically what we're looking for is for these to trigger and break and hit targets, which are just the high of the preceding candles. So this one didn't do that until 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, but it eventually hit that target and a little bit more. This inside bar, if you would have taken it, actually hit your first target. Okay, so that's what we look for. They don't always happen that way. Like this one triggered, looks like it just hit targets and then went back the other way. So that's a probability stuff. Most times, yes, we are looking for that to trigger and hit, and it doesn't always work. And I'm glad. How did I just do that? There we go. I'm glad that some of these aren't working out, because it shows you that probability doesn't always take you in the direction that it probably should. Okay, so this inside bar, yes, we triggered, we hit targets, it worked out fantastic. This inside bar, we triggered, we did not hit targets. Hey, this inside bar triggered, didn't hit targets. It did, but it took it 3 weeks again to get there. So, and that's okay, because these are swing trades. But here, trigger, hit targets. Okay, triggered. This is the move we look for, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days of a big bump up. That's what we're looking for off of those inside bars. So we've got that again on Airbnb. We look for calls at 129.19, puts at 123.49. That's not our strike price. The strike price, let's say this trends to the upside. The strike price that I'm looking for on this would be, you know, like a 131, 132 maybe. A few strikes out of the money. And that doesn't have to be you guys. That's how I do it. You can go in the money. I wouldn't go far out the money. I wouldn't go further than what I've gone. Than a couple strikes off the trigger price. I wouldn't do that. You can go in the money. I wouldn't go any further than, you know, 132. 133 would be the absolute max that I would take these on for a strike price. And then the expiry dates, you need to get at least 2 weeks. Get yourself some time on these things. Get at least 2 weeks. You can get 3 weeks. You can get 4 weeks. Don't get a week. Make sure you get at least 2. Okay, let's move on to Alibaba. Alibaba with another inside bar. And guys, anytime I've got these blue ticks right here, that's telling me there's also a setup on the daily. Those will always notify me that I've got a setup on the daily, as does this yellow line, which is my triggers for the daily. That's how I've done it always. My pink are the triggers for the weekly. My yellow are the triggers for the daily. Blue is monthly. Purple is quarterly. Orange is yearly. Okay, it's just the color scheme I've come up with. We go to the day. We got a 2 down, finished green, pretty close to a hammer candle. We're going to look for this to trend back to the upside on the daily. And if it hits first targets, that's a signal for us to maybe extend this into a swing trade. Okay, but we'll talk about that if I do a daily video for Monday. I've started not to because I kind of like to let things open up on Mondays, but we'll see how the day goes. So inside bar, if we trigger here, we're likely about to trigger to the week. And that's the way the strat works. It's a domino effect. It's fractal. So the hour might trigger the day, will trigger the week, will trigger the month, etc., etc., etc. Okay? CCL, there's another inside bar, another daily setup here. Okay, so we can look for triggers at 1638, puts at 1543. CVS, this is a small little inside bar. So the problem is here, we could get stuck within this bar here, and we might trade within this range for a bit. But here's that inside bar play I was talking about, and this is a little different because it's an outside bar, inside bar, a 3-1 setup with this gold highlight, and that's something that doesn't happen. It's a rare pattern, but it's super powerful, and it tends to have these big runs like we did here. So if you took CVS off of this inside bar last week, off of the playlist that I gave to you guys, and I actually think it was in the top 5 that I gave to the Griswold Gold members, this was an absolute gem of a winner for you guys. So we'll look for that same thing on CVS this coming week. We also have an inside bar on the daily. Okay, so we go to the daily. Oh, and that's old. So we'll take that off. My bad, guys. Take that off, and they're inside bar on the weekly. We are 2 up green, so we can look for a 2-2 continuation on the day or a 2-2 reversal. But this video is for the weekly swings. So we'll look here. Triggers 67.71 and triggers to the downside at 66.03 on CVS. Datadog, this one's a little different than what we've looked at. So it's a 2-up red. So a 2 candle is a directional candle. It can only break the high or it can break the low. If it breaks the high, we call it a 2-up. If it breaks the low, we call it a 2 down. Okay, so this is a 2-up, but it finished red. So that means the sellers took it back. It's telling me we have probable cause that this is going to potentially trend down next week, so we can take triggers at 91.13. DraftKings, inside bar, calls it in 28.52, puts it 26.60. And again, these aren't marked out, but if I were to mark the targets would just be the highs of the preceding wicks. Okay, like so. The highs of the preceding wicks, if we trigger to the downside, it's the lows of the preceding wicks. And that's it. That's how we set our targets. Now, I talked about giving out the top plays to the Griswold Gold members. That is in my Discord. Now, listen, my Discord is free to join. There's plenty of rooms in there for free for you guys. But I do have a private room set up there where you guys get a 1-hour strat course. So I teach you everything about the strat. Okay, and it goes through 1 hour. It gives you live trading bots. It gives you the top setups that I think are most probable from these watch lists, these playlists that I give out to you guys. It gives you this indicator. This indicator on its own is $25, one-time, lifetime. You get it for life at a one-time fee, or you get it as part of the Griswold Gold membership, which is only $50. And with that 50, you get that 1-hour course. You get this indicator. You get one-on-one time with me through Google Meets, through Zoom. We'll connect. You can ask all your questions. We get them all answered, and we can set you guys on the right path. We'll move on to GE here. Here's that 3-1 setup I was talking about earlier. If we go back in time and look for that gold highlight, and that's all we have to do with my indicator, we also have that blue highlight. That gives me the indicator for a double inside bar, and you can see how well those things move. Okay, but we're going to go back and look for this super rare 3-1. They don't happen very often. Happen even less on the higher time frames. There it is. 3-1, outside bar, inside bar, boom, on the weekly. Outside bar, inside bar, boom, to the downside on the weekly. Super, super powerful setups. That's what we're looking for GE next week, or this week that we're coming into, off of this 3-1 setup. We're going to look for that exact same thing. Hey, we look at Intel. So Intel had the 2 down that finished green. We had a 2 up that finished red. Now we've got a 2 down that finished green. And we're going to look for this to trend back to the upside. There was a trigger on the daily, a target on the daily, the yellow and the green. We are right there. So if we trigger, if we target, we've also triggered the weekly on INTC. Inside bar on Facebook, Meta. And here again, that 3-1 setup or that inside bar setup, boom, to the downside. We'll look for the same thing to happen off of that inside bar off of Meta. MU, inside bar, also a setup on the daily. So we've got triggers at 66.24 for calls. Puts, we can look at 62.63. And guys, I can't make this any more clear than I'm making it. Here's an inside bar setup. Here's the trigger. Here's the target. The second week, it went down even further. We're making money. We're fulfilling dreams. We're changing the way people trade with this strategy. And it really is amazing. As long as you put in the work, the effort, the time to learn this stuff, you're going to be okay. Again, just to put some emphasis on this, inside bar triggered to the upside, big move. Inside bar triggered to the upside. And then the second week, it hit targets. Eventually came back down and went 2 up red. But the potential is there for you guys to make money on swing trades. Okay? The potential is there. So now we look at this 2 up red like we talked about previously. We have a 2 up, finished red. We're going to look for puts to the downside, triggers at 35.72. We move into Procter & Gamble. Again, same thing. 2 down, finished green. We're going to look for this to trend back to the upside. We look on Pinterest, 2 up red. So 2 up reds tell me there's probability that we're trending back to the downside. And I'm just pointing this out, guys. Another inside bar, 2 straight weeks where we had a fantastic trend to the upside. Okay? It's not magic. It's not magic. The candlesticks are telling us a story. They're telling us what to do, where to get in. You just need to be able to comprehend what those stories are. Again, inside bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days. If you took this inside bar, another big run up. So here's another inside bar on Palantir. We also have an inside bar on the daily on Palantir. If I go to the daily, there's my 3-1 setup on Palantir, okay? So we look for that day to trigger the week. So we'll look for that on the 1-week chart on Palantir. We move on to PayPal. There's another inside bar on PayPal. Calls at 62.37, puts at 58.75. QCOM, 2 down green. We have a daily setup as well. But QCOM, we can look for triggers to the upside at 112.57. First target marked out right here. Okay, SPY, one of my favorite all-time trader tickers to trade is SPY. And I trade it every single day on a smaller time frame, mind you. But you want to learn how to trade SPY on the 15 and the 5-minute chart. I call it the SPY 155. That's not completely coined as of yet, but as of right now, we're calling it the SPY 155. It's trading off of the 15, managing off of the 5. Okay, and I've got plenty of videos that I've done recently. So if you go to my channel, you see the most recent videos done on SPY. That'll show you exactly the setups to take on the 15 and the 5 and how to trade them. They're fantastic. A ton of people in the room have started to trade that way, and they're making money, guys. It's one of the easier ways to trade. And you don't have to use SPY. I like to use SPY. But as of right now, on the weekly, SPY has this inside bar. We're going to look for it to break, okay? Upside, downside, we're looking for that spring-loaded action. If we go back in time, the last time we had an inside bar, I can't make this stuff up. 3-1 setup, boom, boom, boom. Okay? 3-1 setup here, we triggered, we hit targets, and then it reversed and ended up going outside bar, which is also fine. Okay? You would have made your money at this top side at the targets. Okay? We go back to this inside bar, 3-1 setup, triggered, targets. Okay? Inside bar, triggered, 2 straight weeks down. Done. And this is partially the reason I'm telling you to get 2 weeks out. Here's another inside bar. Look at this run. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight weeks off of the inside bar. Okay, powerful, powerful. It consolidates for a week. Spring-loaded action. We're looking for that jump. So that's what we'll be looking for on SPY next week. Walmart, again, another 3-1 setup. And again, guys, I can't be any more clear. Inside bar, boom to the upside. Inside bar, boom to the upside. People are making money off of this strategy. Lots of people are making money off of this strategy. They're becoming profitable, consistent traders. And is it 100% foolproof? Absolutely not. I will never claim to say that it is, but it's simple. You don't need to find double tops, double bottoms, EMA crossings. You don't need any of that stuff. You can do what the candlesticks are telling you to do, and that's it. Okay, so 3-1 setup off of Walmart. We're looking for a trigger to the upside or to the downside. Let's see how it plays out. Calls at 159.23. Triggers for the puts at 156.24. XLU, 2 down green. We look for triggers back to the upside at 64.28. And that's a list, guys. If you have questions, leave them down below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Leave comments. Share it with your friends if you think this is something that you and your friends could easily trade. And I think it is. I think it is something that you and your friends could easily trade. Okay? Share it with them. Let's get this information out there. Trading is not hard. It takes some willpower and some emotional fortitude to be able to trade, but it's not hard. The strategies are simple. It's you as the trader that becomes the hard part. Okay? So questions down below. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Join the Discord for free. You can ask questions in there, and if you need extra help, that membership is always there for you guys. No obligations though. Okay? But it's there for you guys if you need it. Thank you for watching. I wish you guys nothing but the best in your trading journey next week, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.